Hey everyone, happy Saturday. I almost said Sunday. Welcome to Bariatrics and Tips. I'm Michelle, your hostess with the mostest. I can't wait to show you today's recipe demonstration, homemade protein bread. It's amazing, if I do say so myself. So I have to tell you, today has been just a comedy of errors and things have not gone the way it was supposed to go. First of all, it is mid-March, you guys, and West Michigan was bombarded with snow. So much so that the 5K I was supposed to run today, the Irish Jig, actually got canceled. So I'm still wearing my shirt. I should have put my bib on. I was number 65, and I was really looking forward to running that race today, but so much Old Man Winter just doesn't seem to want to go away. So here I am. I'm gonna bake bread and eat bread instead. But this is the good stuff. This is hearty and full of nutrition, full of good carbs, not too many of them, and chock full of protein. So we'll get right to it. First of all, say hi to my camera girl, Maya. Maya, say hiya.
Hi.
She's so excited. We just came off of a huge homework high, so we are ready and rearing to go. If there are any questions about any of the ingredients or just general questions about gadgets or anything, let me know. Maya will let me know when there's a question. I'm actually going to have Maya come around, and that way you guys can be in the Bariatrics and Tips kitchen with me and you can see firsthand what we're going to do. Okay, so homemade protein bread. There are 3 million bread recipes in the free world, probably more, and this is just one of them. It's what works for me. I love the ingredients that I chose for this recipe, and it's a really good base recipe where you can add and delete things to fit your needs. So for instance, if you decide that you want a sweeter bread, you can alter the sweetness by maybe adding the sugar substitute of your choice. You could add chocolate chips. If you wanted something nice and sweet, you could add maybe a little bit of balsamic vinegar if you want that sweet and savory sensation. You could add nuts if you want, but the base recipe that I'm giving you today, I'll make sure that you have the nutrition content and a couple little tricks along the way. Okay, so let's start with our ingredients. Let's just go down the roster. I've got my my recipe on my laptop. We're gonna start off with almond flour, 2 cups of almond flour. I tend to get this at Sam's Club because it is the most economical way I know how to do it. We are gonna use whey protein isolate. Make sure you're using the isolate. I'm not quite sure how this would work if you used whey protein concentrate. The difference between isolate and concentrate is the way that they are absorbed, and whey protein isolate tends to be absorbed slower and gives you better feelings of fullness for longer periods of time. You could actually, if you're talking protein shakes, Premier Protein is often the whey protein concentrate, and Fairlife is the whey protein isolate. So there's your lesson on that. I actually have a really good recipe slide on our Bariatric Tips Facebook page. So if you just type in at the search glass up at the top, whey protein, you should get that media card. Okay, cool. And if you have questions more about that, let me know because we could talk about it all day. All bread uses some sort of fat to make it moist. Sometimes you use oil or Crisco or butter or a combination of the two. Well, you're not gonna find any of that in this loaf of bread, but instead you're gonna find a 1/2 cup of applesauce. Applesauce gives a little bit of sweetness, maintains that moisture, will help the color of the bread turn a nice golden brown color, and you won't have the fat and calories that any of those oils or butters will bring, okay? Then we've got our other dry ingredients right here, plus not this. We've got milled flaxseed. We've got cinnamon. Now, you aren't gonna taste the cinnamon in the bread, but you are gonna be, it just adds flavor. I just like putting it in there. 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of regular sugar, and I did choose regular sugar because per teaspoon it's not so bad, and I just wanted to make sure that there was not a huge sweetness to it, but I wanted it to be like a mild sweet tasting bread. You can obviously opt for the sugar substitute of your choice. I don't use sugar substitutes right now. I'm going through a phase, and that's a whole different rant. And then a teaspoon of salt, and then 4 large egg whites. So the rule of thumb is 2 tablespoons of egg whites equals 1 egg whites. This is from like a carton of egg whites that I bought. I did not sacrifice any yolks for this because eggs are expensive. So let's just face it. And then finally, 6 whole eggs with their whites in it as well. So hi, Crystal. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, so those are our ingredients. Pretty basic stuff. You don't have to break the bank. You can just add these ingredients. You can certainly feel free to experiment with the kind of flour you want to use. I have a ton of different kinds of like nut flours in my arsenal, and you'll see a lot of those showcased in next week's recipe demonstration for the most incredible cinnamon coffee cake I've ever had, and it's been bariatricized. But again, rant for later, all right? So let's get our ingredients, let's get it going here. I'm gonna do them in order that they're on the recipe card. We're gonna put them into a food processor, so you don't even need a bowl, just load them into your food processor or your blender. We're gonna start off with 1 cup of whey protein isolate, unsweetened, 4 large egg whites, so this is 8 tablespoons. 6 large eggs. There we go. Bye-bye. Half a cup of applesauce, unsweetened. I actually picked more of this up at Sam's Club today. 3 huge plastic jars of it. Pretty decent deal at Sam's Club. 2 cups of almond flour. Love me some almond flour. All right, 2 tablespoons milled flaxseed. Sprinkle that on in. 1 teaspoon of salt. Whoops, come on. Must have been a little noise there. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Yep, I think the thing was a little wet. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And 2 teaspoons of baking soda to help give rise to that loaf of bread. It's going to be amazing. All right. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for joining. I appreciate everyone's time today. All right, we're going to pulverize this. Focus over here, Mai. Woohoo! Let the fun begin. All right. We got it. So, let's see here. This is where I get a little particular. I'm not quite sure why that seemed like it was leaking a little bit. Do you see that? All right. So I'm going to pour this in a bowl. I guess I did need a bowl after all. When I made this earlier, I didn't use a bowl. But in the essence of trying to be meticulous and, that's good, and a little OCD, I want to show you my best practices, okay? So we're gonna make 2 loaves of bread here, okay? You can see the mixture is pretty runny. Let me get all this stuff in the sink so I have counter space for you. All right. Okay, come on over here, Miss Thing. Thank you. So now I wanna make sure that I am using my 2 tins. Okay, now one of the reasons why I use these reusable tins, they are clean. I know they're just a little tarnished. That's just, I think, because of the hot water, they usually turn color. But one of the things that I like about these is, do you see the ridges? Did you know that the ridges are to help cut even slices of bread? So there are 10 potential slices of bread here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that is why I love using these things, because it's like instant OCD, perfect slices, okay? So I'm gonna take this mixture and I'm gonna evenly divide them between the two. Oh, but first, let's spray them into oblivion with cooking spray. Very, very important. You don't want this goodness sticking to anything but your own ribs. All right. All right. Yes, be generous. Never use too much. All right, so in we go. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, but then I'm gonna take it a step further and more than eyeball it. This is gonna probably end up being a pretty short episode of Bariatrics and Tips recipe demonstration because the other bread is just about ready, okay? So I always like to make sure that there's true equality here. And I can kind of see just based on them, they look pretty good. But I'm going to go ahead and use my scale and just see how they measure up. All right, 16.61 ounces. And this one, I bet you is less. 15.27. So I'm actually going to just take a little bit and see if I can just get them even. That means, so this is 16.16, and now this is 15.63. So it's gonna be a battle, but we might have to call it good. This is what I did on the last bench. 15.98, 15.87. I'm calling it good there, you guys. All right, it's pretty equal. So this is going to go in the oven at 350 for about, start checking it at like 25 minutes. It's taking my oven about 30 minutes to yield a really nice looking bread, okay? So just keep checking it. Make sure you use, hold on, I'll show you. Make sure you use like a little poker, and when it's dry in the middle, you know that it's done. So let's go ahead and put this in the oven, and I will set the timer, and then I'm going to show you the bread that just came out of the oven. You are going to be thrilled. Now again, remember, you can cater these breads to your liking as far as tastes and what you want to add to it. I was kind of thinking maybe adding like diced apples and a little bit more cinnamon, maybe some nutmeg, and you got a nice little earthy fall type bread. Super, super delicious. So let's talk about what we're going to see in the end. This bread just came out of the oven before we started our show. I'm gonna unfurl it for you. Let's see. Are you ready? Crystal, are you ready? Here we go. Voila. Here is our bread. This just came out of the oven. Look how gorgeous that is. It's actually nice and moist thanks to that applesauce. And you can kind of see, let me move this a little. You can see here how you can cut the bread in equal slices. So allow me to, whoops, use the right side of the knife. Okay, so I'm gonna cut them in those indentations that I see. And I got my equal slices. And now I don't even need to worry just because I'm literally going against the grain here. Ha ha. All right, bread is served. What do you think? Doesn't it look good? Okay, check out how beautiful that is with some low sugar jams, even a little bit of butter. I've had it this morning. I had some with a little bit of peanut butter on it. That's my weakness. I love it so much, and I hope you do. And yes, I'm going to answer this question right away. You can freeze it and then just thaw it out naturally. It's delicious. It tastes great in the toaster. It tastes great on the oven to maybe add a little bit of butter and some garlic, and you can have your own version of garlic bread. So many possibilities, and that's what I love about a great base recipe, is that you can do whatever you want with it, okay? So that's our demonstration today. I can't believe, is there a question, Maya? No? Okay. I can't believe how quick and easy it is for this to come together. One more thing that you want to make sure you do, set the timer. I wish I would have done that. So now I did that. So I'll have 2 more loaves of bread that I can just plop in the freezer, and we can be on our way. If and when you make this recipe, please let me know how you do. Post your pictures, ask questions. If you have any questions about the ingredients, I will have the Amazon links for the almond flour and for the milled flaxseed. I actually buy the milled flaxseed on Amazon. That's a great deal. So I've got that link coming to you. The recipe for today's demonstration will be at 5 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock, you will get the Amazon links. Hold on, we have a question. Focus on the bread. Where did you get the pan? Oh, these tins, they're like reusable tins, Crystal. If you go to your local grocery store in the home section, I think these had like maybe 3 or 4 of them together in a pack, and they were only a couple dollars. And yeah, they're disposable, and sometimes I throw them away if they get really nasty, but they wash really well. Don't put them in the dishwasher. I'm pretty sure the reason why these turn colors is because I put them in the dishwasher, and I learned that after. I just think maybe the hot water and the detergent probably help turn it colors. But I wash them, I hand wash them in the oven, and then I have them so I can cut them evenly. Best secret ever, isn't it? So thanks for asking. Anything else? Any other questions? More questions. Let's look. Oh, dollar store. Thanks, Melissa. How can I rewatch this? You can rewatch this as soon as I hit the finish button. It's going to save to the message feed, so don't worry. I'm also going to have it on my YouTube channel. So great question. Thank you for asking. That is a great thing, Melissa, that they have them at Dollar Tree. But I will tell you, here, come over here, Maya, follow me. I will tell you, some of the aluminum tins don't have them. So let's look at, these are all the ones that I've collected over the years. See, look at the difference between these two. This has one for like big cuts, but they are little cuts, big cuts. Kyla, any suggestions for what you could use instead of almond flour? You could probably try a plethora of different things. I love hazelnut flour. Are you allergic to nuts? Is that why is that why you don't like almond flour? If that's true, you could probably try lupin flour. I have not tried this recipe with any other flour than almond flour. It'd be nice to experiment, but I'm pretty pleased with the way this bread came out. But one of the things that I like to do when I'm baking especially is I like to use a lot of different kinds of flours just to make a very well-rounded, well-tasting concoction. And you'll see that showcased next week with my coffee cake. I use, I think, 6 different ingredients to substitute for white flour, and it works out so well, and it's so delicious. And you're gonna sink your teeth into the cinnamon coffee cake and wonder why on earth you've never had it before. It's honestly that good. I've had people test it out for me. It's got like a brown sugar crumble on it, and it's wonderful. So if you use a different type of flour, let me know. I would love to see what works out. But I've had good success with almond flour, hazelnut flour, lupin flour, coconut flour, and sometimes a combination of each. So I hope that helps. All right. So that actually segues into next week. Again, cinnamon coffee cake. It'll be delicious. I can't wait. This cinnamon coffee cake, I have to tell you, it's pretty funny because you make it in like a bundt with a fluted pan. My husband ate 90% of that cake. Not all at once, but just over the course of the week. He was the primary inhaler of this cake. So it has been husband approved. So I'm really happy about that. So thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Keep the questions coming. If you have questions, put them in this message thread because I always go back after the broadcast and answer any questions again so you have them written down. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully you're not experiencing the snow the way we are. So get outside, do what you love, and always, always find joy in your journey, okay? See you later. Bye-bye.